Alright, so today we're going to be making a triangular prism isometric view, and then we're going to do a two-part block. I'm going to walk through this process, then we're going to kind of work independently alongside me for this one. That was for the YouTube video, guys. I know you already know that. Alright, so the way we start, as someone said, we first draw our x-axis. So this is our x-axis that we're going to draw our isometric off of. And then what's the next step, somebody?
We draw the y-axis 30 degrees.
You just want to jump to that 30 degrees. No, we draw our y-axis first. Right? So I'm going to measure halfway. All right. So you can do this two ways, guys. It's 5 inches across, so you can go mark 2.5, or you know it's 20 squares. So if you can go mark 10 squares over. Alright, so I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to place my triangle down, and I'm going to draw a light line, because this is just kind of our guide. Alright, and that is our y-axis. That was weird. Y-axis. Alright. So, Aaron, now what do we do?
We measure out our 30 degrees.
Right. So as review, guys, this is a 90, or I guess 30, 60, 90 right triangle. So that means that this one is our 30. If you have trouble remembering which one, grab yourself a permanent marker and write 30 on it, and then 60 and 90. Alright, but our smaller angle is going to be our 30. Alright, so the important part is to always make sure your triangle is aligned with one of the lines on our grid so that we know our angle is straight. So we're going to draw a 30-degree guideline off in both directions. Alright, so I'm going to use this. I'm going to put a big dot there. This is my middle. So now I line up my triangle with one of the grid lines so I know it's straight, and then I just slowly move it until I touch the dot. Alright, and then I double check I'm still lined up. Alright, I need to come in a little closer. Double check I'm still lined up, and I'm not. I'm actually a little bit off, so I then need to back off a little. Alright, and then I'm going to draw very lightly. There's my first 30 degrees. Alright, so again, this is 30 degrees. Now I'm going to do it on the other side. Alright, so I'm going to just make sure, I'm going to line this up with one of the lines. I keep hitting this with my head. Are y'all seeing it move? Alright, so line it up. Then I'm going to draw my 30-degree guideline. Alright, so this is 30 degrees. Alright, and this is how we always start with our isometrics. Alright, so now I've given y'all on It's Learning, you are going to have this triangle. Alright, so you can either go to It's Learning, or you can see this is what we're drawing today first. Alright, and I know that this right side is 1 inch, and this left side is 1.5 inches. So I'm going to now take my ruler, and I'm going to measure 1.5 inches over, or 1.5 inches up my 30 degrees line, and I'm going to mark that. Alright, then I'm going to measure 1 inch on my other 30-degree line, and I'm going to mark that. Alright, just checking in. How we doing? Everybody okay? we're in the classroom, I'd walk around and hand out ring pops right now for the people that are on point. But guess what?
No.
I can't really send you ring pops through the internet.
I mean, you could, but like.
Yeah, give us some virtual candy.
Virtual candy?
Some transporters.
Wouldn't that be lovely? I don't know if I'd want some transported candy though. Alright, so what we're going to do now, guys, is we mark those two lines. So now draw some vertical guidelines. So this is just what we did last class, right? Like, it's the exact same. You know, just the same as drawing a cube to start with, but then we're going to get a little bit different here in a minute. Alright? So I will pause for a minute, pause for the cause, make sure everybody gets caught up with me. Alright, but you should have your x-axis, your y-axis, then you should have two 30-degree lines, and then you should measure out your vertical lines.
How long is the line on the left side?
So again, I'll bring this in. So 1.5 inch and 1 inch.
Okay.
Alright. So this one right here is 1 inch. This one right here is 1 inch. And then the one on the left side is 1.5. So that's what this mark was, and that's what this mark was. So I'll just label them lightly so I can erase it. But that was at 1.5 inch, and this one was at 1 inch. Alright, so now we need to refer back to our drawing, and how tall is the triangle? How tall is our triangle?
Half an inch.
Half an inch or?
1.5.
Yeah, 1.5. Alright, so I'm going to measure up 1.5 on my ruler. So I'm just going to go to that line, right? And I'm going to measure 1.5. Wha-bam. And then I just have to connect it, guys. Because I know that this line and this line are going to connect. Just like so.
You going too fast. You're going too fast. You're going too fast.
I'm going too fast?
Oh wait, I didn't mean to say that out loud.
Nah, it's all good, man. If I'm going too fast, you just gotta tell me. Just gotta tell me.
I did not know my mic was unmuted.
It's okay, it was funny. I appreciate the honesty too. I just need to know. Oh, that was kind of a bad line, but y'all will forgive me. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a little dimensioning. That way y'all can get caught up. And alright, so remember this was 1.5. So anything I want to be permanent, guys, I'm drawing real dark. So you see how that dimension right there, I drew it kind of dark. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and erase this 30 degrees here, because I'm gonna dimension that line for y'all. First, let me draw the line darker. But I just want to make sure you'll have the dimensions. And again, these are on its learning, so this was 1 inch. Okay. Then from there to kind of here. This was 1.5. Alright, so I'm just going to erase some of this stuff, and I will hold up and wait. Why don't y'all type ready in the chat for me once? So I'm going back and I'm erasing everything I don't need. But why don't you, once you have this much of the triangle drawn, why don't you type ready for me in the chat? Listo. This man says listo. Alright, I'm just going to darken my permanent lines, the ones that I know are going to stay. Just make them nice and dark. Oh, I bumped that with my head again. I gotta get a better setup for my camera. Alright, so somebody tell me how we're gonna... Well, hold on, I'll wait. Most of you are still working.
Wait, so, alright, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Are we supposed to do, alright, so you see the left half of the triangle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, are we supposed to do that for the same side? Nah, cause then it's gonna look weird.
What do you mean?
Like, are we supposed to make that same angle on the left side?
Just hold on.
Oh, alright, thank you.
Yeah. Are you caught up to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and move forward, guys. So remember, guys, your options are a straight line. Alright, so everything we've drawn so far, you've either used a straight line or you've used a 30-degree angle. Alright, so what we need to do now is we need to draw our 30-degree angle up here. Alright, so how do I do that? I turn this guy this way, right? And I'm going to draw a guideline. Alright, so I'm just going to line up my thing with something. Line it up with the grid, the squares, and then I'll move it forward till I touch that point. Cool. And I'm just going to draw, this is just a guideline. Just like that. Alright, so all I did was draw a 30-degree guideline off of this line. Now, how long does this line need to be? If this one is 1 inch, then this one should also be 1 inch, right? So now I'm going to take my ruler and I'm just going to go on here, place a mark at the 1 inch, and then just connect. So I'm connecting that to that. I'll go back and darken the top. Just like so. And the only thing I have left to do now, guys, is just erase the extra lines. So I'm just going to come up here, very carefully erase all the grid lines that I did not use. Did y'all realize drawing was so much erasing?
Wait, so we done now?
I've been there.
So, there's only one thing we've forgotten. What is it?
The hidden lines.
The hidden lines.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so to do the hidden lines, there are multiple ways to do it. Alright, the way that I find is the easiest is to draw the vertical line first. So we're going to draw this back line first. Alright, how long should this back line be?
1.5 inches.
Yeah, 1.5 inches. Alright, so we're just going to take our ruler and we're going to line our ruler up the best we can to be straight. Actually, if you want to take this guy first, like that's probably what I would do. I'd probably take him and then I'd go ahead and draw a very light, like even lighter than normal, straight line down. So kind of like, you know, just like this. And then I would go and measure what 1.5 inches is and mark it. Alright, so that's 1.5 inches for me. Then I would take this and line it back up and then do the dashed lines. Just because I like to be perfect, right? So, oh, I keep bumping my head. Alright, so I'm just going to line this back up and I'm going to do dash lines all the way down to that 1.5 inch mark. So now I just have to do 30 degrees between the points. So I'm going to line up. I'm going to line this up and then move it until they line up. So just like this. And then do my dash lines.
Mom, you see what he did to the garage?
What? Where?
Look at the top of the garage. The phone.
You're trying to get out.
Yeah. He ate it. I'm surprised your mom didn't tell you. That was like 2 days ago.
Hell no. That's not, he didn't eat, that's his nail.
Alright, and then you can just line your triangle up with the final 2 points and then do your last dashed line. Well, bam. Now are we done? Boop, boop, boop.
Yes.
Alright, we are done. Alright, so yours should look like mine. So now your next step is gonna be, and there's a picture of this on It's Learning, but I want you to draw this. I'm actually gonna fold this. Gotta fold it the other way. I want y'all to use the knowledge from last class and today, and I want you to draw this shape in this final block. Alright, what did I forget on mine?
Hidden lines?
I definitely forgot my hidden lines, man. So I would like for y'all to put the hidden lines if you have time. If you don't have time, we have about 40 minutes left in class to draw this. Alright. 4-0. We got a good bit of time. Alright. So I want y'all to start on your own. And then I'm going to also do it, but I'm going to do it. I'm not going to start for like 10 minutes. Alright, does everybody get it? Alright, and I'll play a little background music. Y'all can ask me questions. Y'all can ask me if I'm excited for Apex Season 7 tonight.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's at 11 p.m. though.
I'm not gonna sleep through all that.
I got a 10 p.m.
Somebody knows
bedtime.
somebody gonna be up waiting for it.
I mean, if I was still in my 20s, I would be. But now that I'm in my 30s, I'm asleep.
Wait, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What is your longest time ever staying up?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Mine is 2 days in a row.
That's impossible. You cannot stay awake due to
It's not. It's not. It's because of what I was doing. But
Nah, my mother-in-law was just awake for 5 days. She had her heart surgery, and after her heart surgery, her heart had stopped for 18 seconds, so then they had to go back in and put in a pacemaker, and she was too afraid to go to sleep because she thought she would have another heart attack, so she stayed awake for 5 days.
Wow,
Right?
that's crazy.
Like, not even a
It's-
nap or nothing. She just stayed awake. Like,
Just making sure it doesn't die in her sleep.
we had to take her to the hospital, and they had to put her to sleep so that she could get some sleep. But she's better now. She's better now.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Yeah. All right. So again, guys, you're gonna work on drawing this.
Bless you.
Thank you. The dimensions are on its learning, and I'll leave this up. But at 2 o'clock, I'm gonna start drawing it. So in 7 minutes, I'm gonna start drawing it. So if you get stuck, you can kind of watch me go through it. But to answer your question, Marquez, I'd say the longest I've ever stayed up is probably... I know, so I used to work for this transcription company where we would do overnighters for overtime, and we'd sit on a keyboard and type. Alright, and I did I probably stayed up for like 30 hours when I did that.
David, you gotta scroll all the way down.
Yeah, I was about to tell him to. So David, the way I set up its learning is you have Monday, and then Tuesday was yesterday, so there was nothing there. We're on Wednesday now, and if you scroll down, you'll see the triangle we just did. And then if you scroll down a little bit more, you'll see this. If you still don't see it, click refresh, because maybe it's an old tab. Okay, cool. Yeah, it might be an old tab. Alright. I don't know, man. I like sleep, and I like the way that I feel after I get some sleep. So I don't try to stay awake unless I have to.
I don't really like sleep. Well, I do like sleep. It's just that I don't like waking up from sleep.
I get that.
Yo, same. That happens to me every morning.
And I don't know why. I be waking up at the weirdest times. Like today, I woke up at like 6:30.
You think that's crazy? I woke up at 3 a.m. one time.
3 a.m.
Really, yeah.
Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till you get to college. I used to stay up, let's say I had an 11 a.m. test the next day.
Mm-hmm.
I would, stay up till 3, sleep for an hour and a half, get up at 4:30, and start studying again. Go take the test from 11 to 12. Then normally I'd have more classes, but I just would skip those classes so I could go get sleep.
What?
Yeah, because it's different, right? You can justify not going to a class if you're going to study for a big test in another one. I'm going to tell you that's coming. Your parents would be ashamed of you to think, okay, you should always go to class. But really, if you got that big chemistry test in college, you can skip your class on dinosaurs.
But then you gonna find out you have to test dinosaurs.
Well, yeah, I mean, you gotta be sure you don't have a test in dinosaurs.
That makes sense. You're just prioritizing what is more important at the time.
Right. So, in high school, attendance is mandatory. In college, attendance is suggested. But I think because of the whole virtual thing we're going through now, I think more and more teachers will probably offer lessons online. I really do, especially in college. So y'all might actually catch a break. Because I have found that making videos like the one we're making right now is a little bit easier for y'all than trying to teach 30 students at once in a classroom. But who knows?
Yeah, because we can always stop the video and go back and stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah. Normally, to do these 4 shapes, if we were in a classroom and I was going around the room to help every student, it would probably take us 3 class periods to do these 4 shapes. And we probably could have done all these in 1 class period if I had really tried. But,
Yeah.
you know, not trying. Alright, so guys, it's 1:57, so I'm going to go ahead and start working on mine. So what's my first step? Anybody that's still listening to me?
Find your x-axis.
Yes, there you are, Aaron. You've come a long way. Alright.
Make it 2 lines. Like
Yeah,
it.
yep, so x-axis first, then y-axis, right?
Yes.
Which is right
To be
here.
honest, the only thing I do, I just see 2 lines, and then I use the line from the top, just draw it down.
Alright, so I have x-axis, y-axis. Then I'm going to draw my 230 degrees. Did anybody realize this is how 3D drawings were done before they... Keep in mind, this is like 3D drawings for people that don't have any artistic talent. If you have artistic talent, you probably can just draw this, but I don't. We have
I could draw without it, but then I mess up on my angle.
Vision.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, so I'm going to draw my 30-degree guideline. Then I'm going to draw my other 30-degree guideline. I don't know. I like drawing because when you're done, you've actually like accomplished something. There's so much that we do in life where at the end it's like, okay, well I didn't really do anything. Like I did stuff, but... And my wife, she enjoys when I draw. She thinks it's awesome that I have abilities. I don't know what that says. I don't know. She's like, wow, you can draw? I'm like, yeah, with tools, but, you know.
Without tools, you gotta think from your
Yeah,
imagination.
without tools, I draw stick figures.
You know, I actually drew like a ton of pictures, and most of them I didn't really have to use stick figures or any tools at all.
Yeah. Alright, so my next step, guys, I've drawn my 2 guidelines. I know that the left guideline is 1 inch and the right is 2 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and measure and mark. Alright, so the left one was 1 inch. Alright, the left one is 1 inch right there. I guess I'm gonna dimension as I go to help y'all, okay? For those of y'all that need the help. Alright. Which is gonna make it hard to do because they're gonna look weird, but it's okay. Alright, that's 1 inch. Because normally I use the lines to like center stuff up. Alright.
Now that I think about it, like, this is actually pretty easy.
No, it's not hard. It's tools, man. You know, if you know how to use a saw and a tape measure, you can go cut stuff and build stuff. If you know how to use a scale and some triangles and pencils and erasers, you can draw stuff. You know, that's the goal in life. Learn a bunch of skills and then use those skills to make money.
Yep.
Wait, I got one question though.
Yes, sir.
Alright, so you see the line, like the middle line? So it says 1 inch and then the other side says 2 inches. What is the middle line? Like
What?
going upwards?
This one?
Yeah, no. Go down.
This one?
Right there. No. To the yeah, down.
This one? It's also
Yeah.
1 inch. Like if this line's 1 inch, this line's 1 inch. And this line's 1 inch, and this line's 1 inch.
I'm talking about the bottom line. Like the one in the middle that's going vertical, I think.
This one?
Yeah,
No.
but below them. Yeah.
This one. It's a 1/2 inch. Sorry, I didn't label that. That's my bad, guys. Yeah.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah, it's a 1/2 inch. You're right, I didn't label it. That's what, y'all want to know what time I did this morning?
When?
5.
It was 5:30.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm up at 5:30 for no reason. All right. Yeah, so you could have counted the squares, because each square is a 1/2 inch. So 1, 2, 1, 2. But yeah, it's a 1/2 inch. So good catch, Marquez. I forgot to do that one. All right. So
I was just wondering.
my next step is to draw my 2 vertical lines off the points we just marked. Alright, so I'm going to take this, draw 1 vertical line, then I'm going to draw the second one over here. Two vertical lines. And then like Marquez just pointed out, I know that I need to go up 2. Alright, because that's a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to actually, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to go ahead and draw a whole thing. So if y'all want to watch, like an easy way to dimension is using your guidelines. Like I haven't been doing this, but let's say that I go here. And just try to make sure it's all perfect. Alright, so I'm going to draw a guideline here. So I can now use this guideline as the dimension, if that makes sense. And then when I go in and erase, I can erase this extra stuff and I can leave the dimension. So I'm just darkening up all my permanent lines, stuff that's going to stay there and not be erased. Alright, so there's that dimension. Alright, so now I know that I need to go this way and draw a guideline. So I'm going to line up my 30 degrees. Like so. But I'm going to draw it light, just like that. I can also do this other one if I want. I'm going to go ahead and draw this one too. So you're just using your triangle, which is awesome. I gotta come over a little bit. Okay. I'm going to draw a guideline there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and darken up this bottom line because it's going to stay. It's going to be a forever line from here to there. Oop, went a little far, but I'll erase that later. So now I need to draw one of my vertical lines in. So I'm going to figure out how far over this goes. Alright, so what I'm doing next is I'm going to do this line, And I know that because this is an inch, that's an inch. So I'm going to take my ruler now, and I'm going to go and mark an inch. So I mark the inch, and now I just darken it because it's going to become a forever line for me. It's not a guideline anymore. Alright, so now I know that these two lines will connect. To form this bottom rectangle. So that then makes this one a forever line. And now I can erase this middle line. So now I got to draw that back cube. I've got the front cube pretty much done. Alright, so looking back at the drawing, I need to go 1 inch up. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to measure an inch up. And I'm going to mark that. Then I'm going to darken that because it's going to stay forever. It's a forever line. So I'm going to darken that just like so. Alright. So now I could go work on the back, or I could keep working on the front. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this 1.5 inches on the back first, just so I can go ahead and set my height. So I grab my ruler and I measure out the 1.5 inches. Just right there. So I'm going to darken that. Alright. Now I need to do this line here, which I also know is an inch. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and just draw it as a guideline, because I might want to use it for dimensioning later. Alright, so if I come over here and I line up my blue triangle, just real lightly draw myself a guideline. Alright, but then I know that guideline has to be 1 inch, so I just...
That square part, that's also an inch. That's also an inch, so gotta go for my technique here. Stop me on centimeters!
What are you talking about, Aaron?
Oh, she was the mic on?
Yeah.
Oh, crap, I forgot to turn off my mic.
Alright, so then I'm going to grab the right triangle again for mine. This man has developed his own technique, y'all. You mind sharing with the group? Then I do that. Then I do this.
You like look at mine.
Yeah, looks good. It looks like maybe your far right line, this line's not straight, but other than that.
Wait, which one?
The far right line? The vertical one? Nah, yeah, the one your finger's on now.
Alright, I'll try to fix it.
Yeah, it looks a little slanted, but, I mean, it could just be the camera, too. Alright, so I need to...
It's just because, like, I'm looking at it now, and I drew, like, 2 different lines because I was trying to darken one, and I drew a different line. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, so, okay, I'm actually just gonna have to connect all these now. I just double-checked they were an inch apart. So just connect.
Sure, I think I'm done.
Alright, give me a sec. And then I will take a look. If you would like for me to take a look. It's up to you. Yeah, I didn't leave myself much room there on the top, did we? Mine goes all the way to the top at least.
Wait, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you want us to dimension it?
You don't have to, but I mean, you've got
Because
plenty of time.
I would have had to go back on all of them in dimension.
I mean, it's not that hard.
No.
Nice part is, like, look at, I had these guidelines. See how I left my guidelines? So now I can just use those as dimensioning lines. Like, see, I had those guidelines right there. So now that's 2 inches. And then I can go erase all the light stuff. Yeah, see, this one was bad because I didn't have a guideline. That one's fine. I may actually draw a guideline for this one. For this dimension. So you can use your 30-degree triangle, guys, to make dimensioning lines that look better if you want. Like I just did on that one. If you have time, I would like you to try to draw the hidden lines. But if you don't have time...
Can I submit?
Well, did you draw hidden lines?
Yeah, and the dimension lines.
Yeah, then go ahead. Overachiever. I don't like this line down here. The perfectionist in me does not like that line. That's what I get for trying to draw it before I... There we go. It's a little prettier, right? Alright, so guys, it's the same thing to do your hidden lines. We know that this back hidden line needs to be 2 inches. So I'm just going to draw a very light 2-inch line. Actually, I probably could just do it. That's going to be the hard part, though, is our hidden line's going to actually interact with this line here. But at the 2-inch mark, but we'll have one here that goes to... Well, that's unfortunate.
So since I finished, can I leave early?
What's up, Mark? Yeah, let me see what yours looks like. I'm just curious. Can you turn your camera on and show me? Oh, actually, I can pull it up. I just want to double check before I let you go. Let me pull yours up real fast. I'll do it off camera. In case it's... Marcus, go ahead and unmute, bud. Talk to me. What's up?
It was an accident.
Oh, okay, that's cool. You doing alright, though?
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay, yeah, it looks good, Brandon. You're free to go.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too. Okay. So I know that this is going to be 30 degrees here to our back point. So I just need to get it lined up for our hidden line. Oh no. There we go, there's a good line. Alright, now I just have this one last hidden line, but I need to go 30 degrees this way. And that'll be money right there. Money in the bank, y'all. Alright, so I'm just going to go in and kind of touch this up everywhere. Yep, touch this little line up here.
Mr. Smith,
Yes, sir.
the line. Alright, so this is completely unrelated to that, but the line to the left, like I'm talking about the cube on the left. All those are 1.5, right?
These?
No, on the cube to the left.
Oh, this one? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm with you now. Okay. So yeah, guys, I'm just going to touch up some stuff with my eraser, but I am done. So if y'all can get to where I'm at on the drawing, you are free to submit, and then you are free to go. So just make sure you can send me a pretty clear drawing of all 4 things that we have done this week. And that would be amazing. Alright.